A video footage released by Al-Furqan, a media network of Islamic State, has given a new dimension to the suicide bomb blast that took over 250 lives and left thousands injured in Sri Lanka. In the 18-minute video, a man purported to be Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was seen declaring the attack as revenge against Islamic State's last fallen stronghold in Syria. The video footage has echoed the power corridors in Sri Lanka, putting Sri Lankan security forces on high alert after new intelligence reports suggest fresh attacks by Islamic militants before Ramadan. A report. Weeks after a series of suicide bomb blasts rattled prominent churches and hotels, killing over 250 people in Sri Lanka, Islamic State's media network has recently released a threatening video message declaring Easter Sunday blast a revenge against its fallen stronghold Baghdadi in Syria.
وهذا الثبات خلعت له قلوب الصليبيين وأهله مع الصليب وأهله معركة طويلة، وأن معركة الباغوز انتهت وقد تجلت فيها همجية ووحشية أمة الصليب تجاه أمة الإسلام، وفي نفس الوقت ظهرت وتجلت فيها شجاعة وجلد وثبات أمة الإسلام، وهذا الثبات خلعت له قلوب الصليبيين.
In the 18-minute video from the Al-Furqan network, a bearded man with Baghdadi's appearance was seen calling out for militants operating in West Africa to multiply their attacks against Crusader France and its allies. Seeking revenge for its killed members and proclaiming the resurgence of jihadis, the purported Islamic State leader took attacks in Sri Lanka as a metric to showcase ISIS's significant presence across the globe.
جزا الله الإخوة في الولايات عموما على غزوتهم الموحدة المباركة ثأرا لإخوانهم في الشام، والتي قد بلغت 92 عملية في 8 دول، وهذا إن دل فيدل على وحدة صف المجاهدين وثباتهم ووعيهم وإدراكهم لمتطلبات المعركة وفهمهم للواقع الذي يعيشونه. ونبارك لإخوانكم في ليبيا ثباتهم وغزوتهم المباركة ودخولهم إلى بلدة الفقهاء.
Meanwhile, the United States believes members of the terror group blamed for Sri Lanka's Easter Sunday attacks may be at large and planning more assaults. The US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Ambassador Elena Teplitz, earlier said the terrorist threat is ongoing and there may be active plotting underway.
I can't comment on specific intelligence or investigative information, but I believe our warning is valid and still stands, which is that we do believe that there is active plotting underway, and we have warned US citizens and then of course others who might read our warnings to be mindful of places that might make attractive targets for terrorists.
Sri Lanka security forces have been on high alert since the Easter Sunday bombings. As per the alleged intelligence reports, Islamic State militants could plan fresh attacks before the start of the holy Islamic month of Ramadan. Terming Easter Sunday bombings a new global phenomenon, US Ambassador appealed to forge alliances between the countries to end the rising scourge of global terrorism.
Terrorism like this is a global phenomenon, So we're working in Sri Lanka, working in collaboration with the authorities here, but also trying to bring all the resources we can to bear about our knowledge of the global networks. Again, this has to be part of a partnership, and not just between the United States and Sri Lanka, but with many other partners who seek to end the scourge of terrorism of this kind. So we are bringing everything we can to bear on the effort here.
Sri Lankan police has recently released pictures and names of men they described as suicide bombers involved in attacks that targeted hotels and churches. Police suspect members of two previously little-known groups, National Tawheed Jamaat and Jamaat-ud-Dawa, for carrying out the bombings. The involvement of international terrorist group in the deadly Easter Sunday attack that rocked Sri Lanka has raised worries for the Premier of the country, Ranil Wickremesinghe, raising concerns over the influence of international terrorist groups, designated the attack in Sri Lanka different from terrorism done to achieve political aims.
We are no stranger to terrorism, but what has taken place earlier has been in respect of achieving political aims, whether it be in the north or the south. But this is different. It's tied to international terrorism, and all these acts of destruction are for the sake of achieving what they call is a religious goal, but really is not possible under Islam. It's a misguided people. But nevertheless, it is very, very worrying. And while we may have these targets now, the targets can change later if they are allowed to roam around.
Wary of flaring up of anti-Muslim sentiment in the country, Sri Lankan Prime Minister ascertained that the reconciliation process is making inroads across the country and special emphasis is being laid on the areas where there could be a slightest possibility of anti-Muslim rights. After the dastardly Easter Sunday attack, national security and forging alliances in South Asia to counter global terrorism must be on the top priority for Sri Lanka, the country in a run-up to the presidential elections this year.